It's Jane Austen with her iPad. Hello everyone, and today I am coming to you in a cozy Regency vibes because my curls decided not to work. So you've probably been into a situation where it is 1 month left till holidays and you need to make a present for someone. You really love crafting, you really love knitting, and you also really love Jane Austen or Pride and Prejudice or historical garments, but you don't have any patterns and you're like, what am I even gonna give them as a present? You want to give them something special. Because you were very interested in cozy Jane Austen knit patterns previously, I've decided to curate a small collection of patterns that you can make in a month or so to give people as a present. You can give it as a present to yourself, to your friends and family, to anyone that loves Jane Austen or just a fan of Regency, or for people that are in love with historical clothes and knitwear. Every single pattern in this collection I want to make myself. Curated a small list. I think there are about 10 patterns. Most of them are very small and very fast to knit, and also some of them are very suitable for the beginners. Some of them can be changed to make it a beginner pattern, like you can omit the color work and make it a lot more simpler. It will definitely knit a lot faster. So all of these patterns come from Jane Austen Knits. These magazines were popular throughout the 2010-2014. First, we're starting with Sweetheart Bag. And it is basically, let's say, a reticule inspired bag, but if you think about it, it's a beautiful bag that you can use to put your phone, candy, I don't know why I thought of candy, but why not? Anything that you really want to put into your little bag, you can. You can definitely make it bigger or smaller depending on what you really want to put or carry in it. But this is a very cute bag. I really love the colors that they used. My favorite is green, and obviously there is some color work involved. But again, as I said, you can omit the color work and just knit this beautiful bag as a very nice present to someone. Or if you want to make it a lot more special, you can definitely also make beautiful color work. Depending on who you are and whether you're very versed at working with color work in your knitting patterns, I think that would be perfect for beginners, medium knitters, for anyone that is versed in ways of knitting. I would say it doesn't look very complicated whatsoever. I would definitely knit this myself if I had time in the upcoming month. So I would say the Sweetheart Bag is a perfect present for anyone out there that love Jane Austen. Color work is so beautiful. There's just plants and flowers, and you can put flowers in there. You can make it as if it's like a bouquet, but it's like a beautiful bag. Or like if you want to give a present, if you want to give someone like a pot, like a plant, and you can kind of put that pot inside of that bag. Perfect. Very cute, very beautiful. I really love the fact that it has, again, nature, inspired by nature. Who doesn't love nature? Who doesn't love Jane Austen? Who doesn't love little bags that you can put stuff into? I mean, it's a perfect little present. There is another very beautiful creation that I want to show you, and I feel like this would be a perfect one for winter time, but also as a present throughout the year. But it's just because of the color work, it is very inspired by winter and snowflakes, but you can use different colors and change the color work, or again, omit the color work. Just kill the bug. Or omit the color work entirely and make a beautiful love and loyalty pinball. If you know anyone that loves sewing, well, I guess it is also me, I love sewing, loves Jane Austen or Pride and Prejudice, or just, a fan of beautiful creations that you make and knit yourself, then this would be a perfect present for someone. It is, well, very useful. somebody that loves sewing or knitting or embroidery can use this perfectly. You can hook it onto your wrist and just kind of carry it. It's kind of also a bit reminds me of just like a little keychain maybe. You can use it definitely as a keychain. You can use it as a chain to put, I don't know, onto your bag. It is very beautiful. And the fact that it is inspired by winter is just perfect. I really think that useful presents are a very beautiful thing to give to people. You know, things that are going to be used, and you know, people are going to definitely appreciate something like that if they love crafting, and they will, you know, when they're going to stick their pins in it or just their needles, they're going to think about you, and that's beautiful. I think it's a perfect little present, very small. Again, if you omit the color work, you can definitely make it super fast. I would say this is also a very beginner-friendly pattern and a perfect gift for someone that you love. Again, I really want to make it myself. This is one of the projects that hopefully in the future I can make as a very fast little present for myself. And we are moving on to another bag, because why not? You can never have enough bags. And again, why not? I mean, why not? There is a beautiful reticule. Again, I would say this is more of a lace work, but again, if you want to not do the lace work, but why not? Because it is so beautiful and gorgeous and actually gives a lot more character to that reticule or bag itself. You know, just do lace work and give that present to a person in like 2 months instead of a month. I believe in you. You can do this. It is a Fairfax reticule. It is a very beautiful bag that you can, again, give it as a present. I don't really know what to talk about it, but you know, if you know someone that loves Regency and reproductions and also really loves to go to the balls, you can definitely make something like that for them. And again, this could also be a very cool, I don't know why, but it's always associated with like pots for some reason. You know, you can kind of like alter it so that you can like hang it from the ceiling and then put like a pot inside of it so that it becomes that. I guess you gotta like a bit alter it a bit too much, but I would say this reminds me of something like a pot holder for plants, and if you have something like that, you can definitely do. So I mean, here's the idea for you. And of course, for people that love Jane Austen, what do we love also? We love reading books. And this would be, and also, what do we always lose as people that read books? For all those book lovers that lose their bookmarks all the time, I would say this is a perfect bookmark for you. And also to make as a small gift for someone that loves books and also Jane Austen. You can maybe even gift someone a book if they never read Jane Austen before, or with any other type of book. That would be a perfect little present. Like, you already think about these people because you gift them a book, which is already a very precious thing to give, because you understand what people love and listen to them. But in addition, you also make something that is so beautiful and useful for that person to use when they're reading that book. So it's kind of like double gift giving. It is perfect. A little thing, it is Marianne's romantic bookmark. I think you can actually put it like surround it, so it's kind of like a bookmark that can fit onto a book. So it is a perfect bookmark that you're not going to be losing. It is also handmade and definitely is a perfect project for your yarn stash. Maybe you have a couple of, you know, different colors of yarn, or just, you know, one random yarn ball that you don't know what to do with it, that you can definitely use for this project and then make someone very happy with that beautiful bookmark. So, I mean, again, you can omit the lace work or you can do it with the lace work. I would say it will definitely bring a lot more character to your present if you add lace work to it. I think this is a perfect project for stash busting and for those who love bookmarks. Probably there are some people that really love gifting socks to people and maybe a bit tired by constantly going and buying the same socks, or just, I don't know, really want something different. And maybe you're just, you just finished your one pair of socks and you really want to knit another pair that you're very, I don't know, inspired by Jane Austen. One of those beautiful socks slash stockings are rosing stockings. I would say these are beautiful. Obviously lace work again, but who doesn't love lace work? And it definitely makes it more inspired by Jane Austen when there is lace work, because at that time there was lace work was very popular. And well, yeah, you can definitely make more socks slash stockings for those of you that love that kind of gifts. I think this is a perfect gift too, because it is very useful. Also, legs do get cold very fast during winter time, so it is a perfect gift for someone that gets cold feet, literally, and I guess figuratively too, but it's a perfect gift for someone out there. Oh my god, I just looked at the bookmark again, and I would say if you make that bookmark with lace work, put it onto the pages, and then lace work brings, there's like holes in lace work, and through those holes you can see letters from the paper popping through, and it just looks so beautiful, and also brings a bit of like difference to the actual bookmark. I think it's just a beautiful bookmark that you won't lose, and whoever you gift it to won't lose it again. So yeah, it is kind of like, you're not gonna lose a bookmark. It is a perfect present for whoever's reading books, and book readers love bookmarks. I love bookmarks. Please gift me some. Handmade bookmarks is like so good. Huswif. I think it's huswif. The next project is again perfect for whoever loves storing their needles in one place, and it is Colonel Fitzwilliam's huswif. In my understanding, these were used, and if I am wrong, I can always tell you what it was actually used for right here. But in my understanding, these were perfect little gifts for those that really want to store all their needles in one place. Needles, pins, and not only that, because you can put some things into little pockets that it has, and also the fact that it has beautiful color work, but also not only that, but it literally says with Fitzwilliam on it. So isn't that beautiful? You can also embroider any person's name onto there. You can embroider your name if you're giving it to yourself. You can embroider your friends or friends of family's name, or you can embroider, I don't know, Mr. Darcy. It is a very useful thing. Why not? Why not? And also a perfect project for stash busting. I think all of these projects are perfect for stash busting, because as a knitter, you definitely know that it is a bit of a bummer when you have so many half-used balls of yarn. Sometimes it's even like a full ball of yarn, but like you used, I don't know, a bit for like color work, and I do have that kind of ball of yarn from previous projects, and you're like, what can I make out of it? And the fact that you're already making something special using the stash yarn that you have is definitely making you a perfect crafter out there, because you're being recycling, reusing things that you have. You're doing very good, and I'm proud of you. And for those who love also, leaving all of these ends to create whatever they want, I also see you, and I do the same thing. you know, with the little tiny ends. Do not throw anything away because, well, I will come back to you on that note in my other video, but you can literally reuse anything that you have left over, even tiny pieces of yarn. I already said it multiple times, you can. Another beautiful thing that actually I got inspired by what my mom made for me is a present slash a very useful thing, because my hands do get cold, but also like I do a lot of things with my like fingers, I need them open. And when you also have stash yarn, because she actually used stash yarn that I had in my collection to create these things. These are fingerless gloves, but actually this is a specific pattern that is more inspired by Jane Austen. There is another pattern that my mom used, which is this one. I think this is like the simplest, I think it's called Simplest. What we did, we decided to kind of like cut this bit where you would have like a little rounded bit, so just make it shortened and everything was like open and it became fingerless gloves. You can use this pattern just because it is perfect stash busting. But if you want something special that is inspired by Jane Austen knits, but also, you know, very dainty, beautiful, colorful, and again, you can reuse whatever you have in your stash, is flower and lace cuffs. I think these are perfect present for throughout the year, especially if you're in the UK, because you can basically wear these again throughout the year, because hands do get cold most of the time in UK in most of the seasons, except maybe some days in summer they don't get cold. But these are just so beautiful, and I think they're gonna elevate your whatever you're wearing, but also keep you warm and just make your hands look a lot more prettier than they are, and also keep your fingers, you know, crafty. So you can definitely wear them when you're knitting or sewing, and if you want to, you know, keep your hands warm. But also you can use these when you are embroidering or just doing anything really, playing a piano, just looking cute, drinking tea. It is beautiful, perfect, wonderful, whatever you want to call it. And if you gift it as a present to your friends and family, I would say they would definitely love something like that. And if you love tea, you have the beautiful cuffs, and you're like, I also love tea, but what if it gets cold? And usually it does during winter time. How to make it a lot warmer, how to keep it warm in those cold winter mornings when you're drinking afternoon tea, or in the afternoon when you're drinking afternoon tea, whatever you feel like drinking your tea. Well, it is a tea cozy, another tea cozy, I know, but I mean, there's just too many tea cozies in these Jane Austen knits magazines, and I would say this is, I mean, tea cozies are always popular. I have not seen any used by any of the people really recently, and I'm like, why did we stop making tea cozies? Why have we stopped using and making tea cozies? I think these are perfect. And one of those tea cozies is Mr. Knightley's tea cozy, and it looks very cute. I think it is quite a simple pattern. There was another one that was a bit more complicated, like you could make like flowers at the top of your tea cozy, which is also beautiful. And if you want that one, you can also make that one. But this one looked very simple, and also as a very fast gift, but also as a very useful and beautiful gift. Why won't you give tea cozies as a present? People love tea. If you know someone that loves tea, but you constantly give them the same thing, which is tea. And as a tea lover myself, I have too much tea already. So if you already know someone that has a lot of teas already, and you already gifted them anything that you already know about tea, I don't know, pots, teapots, and little cups, but like everybody already has so many of the mugs. Why not make things that you already gifted look even more beautiful with a beautiful tea cozy, and also keep the tea warm. This is very useful, perfect project for stash busting, and just a very beautiful gift that again will decorate your house, your friend's house, your family's house, just like make people more happier. And finally, I think we should actually start a movement of making tea cozies again, because it is perfect and it will definitely be my future project. I would love to make, probably I'm gonna make the one that I mentioned in my previous video, because I really love the fact that you can put initials on your tea cozy. I would say this is very personalized, but again, if you want to make this tea cozy for your friends, you can. Or if you want to not make this one because it's a bit complicated, you don't know how to do color work, you can definitely do some embroidery on this Mr. Knightley's tea cozy. So there's just vast things that you can do with these patterns. You can definitely modify, make them very personalized to yourself or to the people that you want to gift these to. But we're moving on to another thing that is very useful. Again, you drink your tea, you had your little cups, but what if you want to go outside and you just kind of like, I don't know, again, your hands are cold, but you don't want to wear gloves. Well, again, I would say a thing that we need to introduce back, because it is very useful. And why don't we have these things? And also the fact that women's clothes don't really have very big or warm pockets just makes it even more perfect, because you don't really need gloves. You can just make yourself a leafy muff. This is a perfect project again. Why? Because it uses thick yarn, definitely can knit very fast. You can make a simpler version without all of these like beautiful lacy motifs. I think this is not lacy. I think this is kind of like kind of making it a bit more interesting, like I don't know how to say it, but yes, like you can omit it, you can just make it fully knit and it is still going to be useful. And I would say this is just a perfect project to keep people's hands warm. But also if you're not a fan of constantly wearing gloves, because like you gotta remove it, you lose your gloves all the time, this is a one piece. Also, if you don't really like making gloves, like knitting them, because you have to make one and then you have to make another one, with this one you just make one and it's perfectly gonna keep your hands warm, or your friends or family's hands warm. A perfect little present, as always. For those who still haven't decided whether they want to make all of these previous bags that I gave you, I mean, what kind of things you can also make? You can make a bigger bag. And this one I would say would be perfect again in the combination of those who love books and carrying books. And sometimes you want a bag for that. But also like you want to keep your book more like in a tight bag. You can, I guess, put anything else there too, but why not make a book bag? Why not? This one is a bit more special. It is called Miss Bennett's beaded bag. So you can actually add beads, which is awesome. But also again, if you don't have a lot of time, you can again omit everything, but still make it from this pattern. It is perfect, cute, wonderful. Why not make a bag? I keep constantly telling people, why not make a bag? People love bags. You can put your produce in there if you're, a fan of not constantly using shopping bags. You don't want to constantly, buy plastic. You don't want to constantly recycle plastic. You go to markets, you go to stores, you put, some bananas, fruits, vegetables, anything in that beautiful bag, depending on what kind of like color you can make. Like it's perfect if you know someone that loves, these kind of things. You can sew this kind of bag, but also, again, if you omit all of these beads and make it less intricate, this would be still very useful to whoever that loves that free plastic lifestyle, and I try myself to not constantly use plastic bags when I go to shopping, and I always have my own bag that I use for shopping. But sometimes you forget one, or you want like a smaller one. This one's very cute and perfect for whatever things that you want to use it for, even as a gift bag, because again, you don't want to constantly, it's kind of like 2-in-1 or 3-in-1, because it can be used as a gift bag, so you can actually put your gift inside of that bag, but also it's also a gift, and then it can be reused again and again and again, which is just perfect, because with gift bags, most of the time they just get thrown away. Maybe some people reuse them. I did that, but now I don't, because you can just use fabric, or you can make these beautiful bags yourself, and then it becomes a useful thing to whoever uses it in the future. And because we're talking about winter, and because you want multiple options to keep your hands warm, but also keep your fingers free, it is another set of hand warmers, but this time I think they're even warmer than the previous ones. If you didn't like the muff, or if you want something that is a bit thicker than those cuffs that they are, I think they're not actually fingerless gloves, but I don't know, they can be used as. And if you want something that is even faster knit than anything else that I gave you previously, again, another option that you can make for your friends and family or yourself is Sense and Fashion hand warmers. And I think they just look so perfect. They actually remind me of those hand warmers that my mom made for me, which I guess I can show you, but maybe not. Again, these have a bit of more like an interesting pattern on them, so they're not just a knit pattern, but if you don't want to knit, if you don't want an interesting pattern on them, they're still going to be perfect if you just knit all around. So you don't have to, spend your time doing these. Again, very perfect for beginners or people that have never made anything like that before. I think why not start from hand warmers? They're very useful things. Everybody needs hand warmers. I needed hand warmers and I never had them before, and now I have, because fingerless gloves versus with the finger gloves, with the non-fingerless gloves, is a very big difference. Like, you don't have to remove them. Obviously your fingers might be a bit cold, but again, you can use the muff. A lot of interesting things. And unfortunately, that was all of the patterns. I think I actually gave you a bit more than I said that I'm going to, because there are different ones, and obviously there are a bit of like repetitive things going on, but again, I think every single one that I gave you has their own special, unique look to them, and I would say most or all of them would be perfect as small, very fast to make, and also very perfect stash busting projects to use by the end of the year, especially for those that really want to finish their goals of removing as much of the yarn from their house as possible, and also giving wonderful gifts to the people that they love. I think these are perfect little projects for whoever really wants to make them, and I myself really want to make them, and hopefully in the future I'll have time. Unfortunately, I don't right now, because I have started a bit of a bigger project that I'm still knitting and is on the needles. But to whoever really wants to make these beautiful gifts, I hope you like this little selection, and hopefully in the future I can make another one, but it was a bit harder for me to find smaller, very simple patterns that you can use, change, modify to whoever you want to make as perfect gifts for the end of the year, or to whatever festivities that you want. And to whoever loves Jane Austen and Pride and Prejudice and Sensibility and Emma, and am I just gonna mention every single book by Jane Austen, or any historical period? You definitely know these people that love these things, or even if you don't, I would say people love handmade gifts. I love handmade gifts. whoever I made gifts to loved their gifts. So make gifts, reuse, reduce, recycle, and be happy. And hopefully by the end of the year you will have less yarn in your stash, but also you will make one or multiple people very happy, even yourself. If you just make yourself happy, it is still very valuable. And I hope you like this video. I hope you have a wonderful time whenever you're in the world. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because I really love reading your comments. Sometimes it's a bit harder to reply to all of them, but I still love to read them. So I hope to see you in my future videos, because I will have more pattern ideas, but not only that, because I have so many different projects that I am making, planning to make, and really want to show it to you, because I don't know, I'm just very excited to make these beautiful things and just share them with you, to whoever really loves historical, vintage, Jane Austen-inspired knitting, sewing, crafting things, and also to whoever loves reducing, reusing, and recycling, because this is very important to our planet. And I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye everyone!